I want to talk about going out and bearing all your scars without any, makeup or bracelets or anything. Just basically going all natural and just showing all. And first off, I just want to put out there that this is really hard to do. And, you know, for anyone it's hard to do, and I know I've seen videos about how to do this and people saying it gets easier as time rolls on, and I have to say I don't believe that. Every time you step out of your house without cover, it's a different scenario, it's a different scene, and it's always going to be hard. Sometimes, of course, it may be easier than others, but for the majority, it's going to be hard. You got to be prepared for people to look at you, to say things to you, call you names, and all that junk. And I'm just saying, just don't do that unless you're personally ready and you have a reason, and a strong reason burning inside of you. And I'm saying this because, like, the first time I went out, I kept reassuring myself, like, I'm doing this because of I want to feel the sun on my skin again. I want to feel the wind. I want to be able to be more confident in myself and my body. And I had like reasons, and I think the first thing you should do is write all the pros and all your reasons down. That way it's easier to go back to it, or even bring it with you when you go out, so you're not like cold turkey out there. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Why am I out here? You have some kind of comfort with you written down. The second thing I would say, besides being mentally ready, and writing it down, always bring like a long sleeve or a sweater, or like hoodie, something to protect you just in case you get cold feet or something. That way you're just not out there and you just have to bear it. You could always try just going to a place that no one knows you. Like, I remember a couple of times I've driven to like different counties in my state where I'm pretty certain that I don't know anyone, even though my state is really small and we're all connected somehow. But these people I do not know. I went inside a Walmart, bought something, left, and it was still that same self-confident building kind of activity going on there. All right, but the first time I actually wore short sleeves outside, I was going to school. Best decision, right? But we were actually doing a play, so I wasn't really going to classes. I was just going to be with my theater geeks and rehearsing, and they already knew about my cutting. Not because I told them, because I told one of the girls she was also cutting, and because she was doing some stuff, and I was just like, come on, that's not cool. And she's like, who are you to tell me this? But I'm not gonna get into that because that was stupid. But I will say it's great to have a group, or friends that are supportive and know about your cutting, or that you feel comfortable with. So when you're outside, it's like it doesn't matter. You're so comfortable. You feel like you're wearing long sleeves even though you're not. And and the world kind of shuts out when you're with your friends. You know what I mean? Like when you're out with your friends and you don't realize you're being loud, but you're loud because you're just too into what you guys are doing. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about with your friends. You just together and you're being yourselves together, and the world kind of shuts out. You're not going to be worrying about your scars if you're so comfortable with your friends. You're not going to be worrying about all the things that people may be looking or saying to you, and your friends are there so they could help you and defend you and be by your side. And even that's like a great straightener in like your friendship, bearing through this together. But so the first time I go out, I stop at a Wawa to get some stuff, and I thought it would be a great idea because it's like my real first exposure outside with humanity. And I go inside and I start to like freak out because I swear like everyone's like looking at me, which they're probably not all doing, which is something else. Some people just don't give a fuck. So if you're lucky and you have people who just don't give a fuck, it's great. But So I'm in here thinking in my head, these people are looking at my scars. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is horrible. I can't do this. I can't do this. And I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. And I just dash into the bathroom. And I'm like, trying to calm myself down, like, Sophie, relax. You made the decision to come out here. So, you need to step up to the plate, blah, blah, blah. And I talk to myself like there's another person in the room, I tell you. And no lie, I did this. This is exactly what I did. Because, I'm about to go do a play in my school, like 3 or 4 times. So I go into the bathroom, like, Sophie, calm down. You're going to go out there. And you're going to put on your best act. You're going to act like you don't have any scars, the most confident and beautiful person in the world, and like the world's your oyster. And you're going to go out there, you're going to get your food, you're going to chat up, you're going to have a great time, and nothing's going to bother you. People look at your scars, so what? Who cares? You're just going to go out there and you're going to be you. And I'm like, and action. And I go out and I get my grapes, I get my cheese and these crackers and yogurt, and because I'm getting all my snacks, and I order my sandwich, and I talk to the people behind the counter, and acting like if people look at my scars, like, I wonder what they're looking at. Just totally oblivious. Like, I wonder what they're looking at. I'm totally fine. And I told them my name was like some crazy name. Oh, I love the name Celeste. They was like, what's your name? I was like, my name's Celeste. You're like, oh, you have a play, because I was wearing my play shirt, and I was totally talking it up and just being this character, and paid and then left. And then I got to my car and I was like, end scene. And I did what I had to do to get through the moment. So for me, that was just acting like a totally different person, and acting like I was this, totally normal person that does not have any scars and is totally fine, which isn't the case. But for my first time, that's how I got through it. Because otherwise, I'd just be freaking out, like, oh my god, they're looking at me. So, that's what I did. And then I get to school, and, when I'm at school, I'm going to let you know, honestly, I put my sweater on because, I didn't want to go through another moment of that intense fear and anxiety. And so I put my sweater on, and around lunchtime, me and my group of friends, and this is what I was talking about earlier, they were, egging me, you have a sweater on, it's hot outside, take off your sweater. I think partially they wanted to see my scars and stuff. But I took off my sweater, and at first it was awkward and weird, and they're trying not to make it awkward and weird. It just makes it more awkward and weird. But then it got better, and then we just totally forgot about the fact that I have a gazillion scars and stuff. And this is what I'm talking about. If you go out with your friends, or even my ex, I used to go out with my ex and to the beach. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was horrendous, but having my ex there made it better because, I only care about my ex looking at me. I only cared about, him looking at me. Everyone else was not in my interest, not in my point of view. Who cares about that person looking at me, or the other person who normally would have been probably checking me out if they didn't see my body. But I didn't care, because the only person I wanted checking me out was already on my arm. So, F the world, And plus, we went to a beach that was out of state, so that also helped. And I kind of acted like everything was fine. And eventually, I kind of settled into my skin until someone came up to me and was, talking about me. But that was, like I said, you have to be prepared. You have to know that you're going out there and people are going to call you names like emo. And don't be so naive to think that's not going to happen, because it's totally is going to happen. I've been called, I have the devil in me, I'm going to go to hell and be condemned. And I'm like, damn, you would think I killed somebody. Why is this such an issue? But, you have to just be brave, really, and really realize what you're in there for and what you want to do, and keep that goal in mind, because that could be the one thing that's keeps you from crying sometimes, because you're just I'm doing this for a reason. I'm doing this so I can feel the skin. Feel the sun on my skin. Not the skin, but you just gotta keep your goals in mind and remind yourself of that, and realize, don't be naive to think, oh, everything's been going great every time I go outside, so this time it's going to be great. No. Always be prepared. Always, take small steps, I would say. That's another tip I would say. Take small steps. Don't just leap and go to school one day with nose, or short sleeves, because that's just ridiculous. Take short steps. Maybe take off your sweater at lunchtime if you want to do it at school. Or like I said, go to a place that no one knows you. Go to a park one day. Like, I walk my dog in tank top and shorts during the summer. And yeah, it's kind of embarrassing when guys are looking at me, and then they look at my body, they're like, oh my God. Ugh. But at the same time, it's like, well, obviously I don't want to be with someone like you or something like that if you're so main focused on my skin. It kind of weeds out, your true friends and the ones that aren't your true friends, in a sense, because your true friends would stick up for you when you're going through this and going out in the world like this, as opposed to other people. So stay strong, realize your goal. And I'm so sorry if I talked so fast, but I just wanted to get my ideas out. So, bye-bye.